Hello everyone! In the last session, we talked about rituals the new couple practice on the wedding day. In this session, we will talk about some rituals after the wedding day. Wedding day is not the end of the wedding ceremonies. After the wedding day, there are still a lot of rituals, one of which is 庙见, paying a visit to the ancestral temple of the groom's family clan. Originally, this ritual was held 3 months after the wedding ceremony. There is a sentence in 以礼曾子问, which is 3月而庙见，称来复也；择日而祭于弥，成父之意也。 Gradually, the ritual is changed. In some places, the ritual is held 3 days after the wedding ceremony, while in other places, it is on the 2nd day. This ritual takes place in the ancestral temple of the family clan for the country people. But for people living in towns and cities, while there is no ancestral temple of the family clan nearby, the ritual is held before the ancestral altar or shrine, which is in the house of every family. This ancestral temple, altar, or shrine with a tablet or red piece of paper on the wall function as the place to worship ancestors corresponding to the church in Christian countries. This ritual begins by the father of the bridegroom or the senior members of the family going on his knee before the ancestral altar to announce to the spirits of the dead ancestors that a descendant of the family has now brought a wife home into the family, and the family will be booming. Then, the groom and the bride, one after the other, each goes on his and her knees before the same ancestral tablet. From this moment on, the man and woman become truly husband and wife. Before this ritual, the bride, according to the Book of Rites, was not a legal wife in the past. If the bride happened to die before this ritual, she was not accepted by the groom's family clan and would not be buried in the burying ground of the family clan, and her memorial tablets would not be put up in the ancestral temple of his family clan. This ritual is still performed in the countryside, from which we can see the contract in a legal civic marriage in China is not between the woman and the man, but between the woman and the family of her husband. She is not married to him, but into his family. Chinese marriage is the relationship not between husband and wife, but between the two families, even between the two family clans. It is quite different from the Westerners' love marriage. That is why many Westerners cannot understand the complex relationship in Chinese families. Meeting the parents-in-law refers to a ritual in which the bride will be guided by the groom to meet the parents-in-law and other family members the day after the wedding ceremony. 舅姑 actually referred to father-in-law and mother-in-law. According to 礼记唐公, the bride dare not to meet the parents-in-law unless she was well made up. 妇人不是，不敢见舅姑. There is a well-known poem by the poet Zhu Qingyu in Tang Dynasty, which is, Out go the great red wedding chamber candles. Tomorrow instead the bride faces your parents. She has finished preparing. She asks of you meekly whether her eyebrows are painted in fashion. The poem vividly describes a newlywed woman was very nervous and carefully making up before meeting the parents-in-law. This poem reflects how important meeting the parents-in-law was in the ancient time. It was generally believed that only when the bride paid a visit to ancestral temple and performed a ritual of meeting the parents-in-law could she formally become a member of the husband family. While the ritual of paying a visit to the ancestral temple reflects that Chinese marriage can be the very embodiment of a Chinese consciousness of clan. The ritual of meeting parents-in-law shows Chinese concept of a family. Marriage would rather be the combination of two families rather than the combination of two individuals. Being obedient to parents, whatever decisions they made was regarded necessary for Chinese people in the past. Thus, the bride would be very nervous before meeting the parents-in-law. If the parents-in-law were not satisfied with her, her future life in this new family would be miserable. If the parents disagreed on the marriage, the couple should be departed, such as in the famous love story between the great poet Lu You and his cousin Tang Wan. In the past, there was a very important issue during performing the ritual of meeting the parents-in-law, which was to establish the bride's position in the new family according to her husband's position. The bride's own personal identity would disappear. Instead, she would appear as somebody's wife. So, in the new family, she would be addressed according to her husband's position. For example, her husband was the second son of the family. Then she would be addressed as 二奶奶, 二嫂, 老二, etc. She became her husband's stooge. After she gave birth to the babies, she would be addressed as somebody's mother. The appellation of the woman is a good embodiment of her position in the family and society. In the past, Chinese women never had their own identity, which could be reflected in 3 obediences and 4 virtues. The ritual of returning to the bride's parents' home is another very important ritual. Although it is not one of the 6 rites, it is very popular in reality. In different places, the time of returning to the bride's parents' home and customs might be different. In general, 3 days after the wedding, the couple will pay a visit to the bride's parents' home, while the bride is now received as a guest rather a hostess. The ritual is very important to both newlyweds and the bride's parents. For the groom, this is the first formal face-to-face meeting with the bride's parents, so he should prepare very well and bring certain gifts. For the parents, this is a good chance to know more about the son-in-law and to see whether their daughter and the son-in-law will have happy marriage. So generally, the parents will invite many relatives and prepare a banquet to celebrate it. The new couple can't stay at the bride's parents' home for the night, since there is a custom that the couple should sleep in the bridal chamber for the first month. Generally, the new couple will bring many gifts with them to the bride's parents. In different places, there are different requirements about gifts. The following are some of them. First, the head and tail plus feet of the roast pig, indicating there is a beginning and end. Second, lettuce and green onion, symbolizing the new couple will be plentiful financially. Third, bamboo stick, indicating raising up step after step. Fourth, sugar cane, indicating the couple will have a happy life forever. The ritual of returning to the bride's parents' home is extremely meaningful for the bride. On the one hand, it can be regarded as the moment to say goodbye to her girlhood when she was happy and dependent on parents. On the other hand, this ritual allows her parents, family members, relatives, and neighbors to know she has a happy marriage and they needn't worry about her. So, this ritual is very popular in reality and it can be regarded as the end of wedding ceremony. So, everybody, we talked about traditional Chinese wedding ceremony and we covered engagement, preparations, wedding day ceremony, and post-wedding day ceremony. That's all for this unit. Thank you for your attention.